How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Solana update. I have full faith that while $125, this weekly time frame support holds, a new all-time high is still possible. Looking at this level of support, you can see here it acted as demand, here a level of resistance, again here supply, back into support, bringing a pump back up to the all-time highs, slightly putting in a new all-time high, but very quickly returning down to that $125 area. We actually saw a deviation. It ended up being a deviation thanks to the 200 EMA, but with that pivoting off of this level of support, we saw the recovery of 125, confirmation that it was support, and it pivoted off of that area once more to tackle the previous all-time high. It failed, and we saw it return to 125. But this time round, the 200 EMA is exactly on that level, and potentially why we don't want to see 125 lost on this specific occasion. Last time we had a level of support just slightly underneath to maintain the trend. This time round, that level of support is exactly on this $125 psychological level. So we can see we don't want weekly candle closes or monthly candle closes beneath this point. While it still remains support, as you see to the left, it sends it back to the range high. So I shouldn't actually assume any different. It should pump back up to the range high. And in this video, I'm going to explain why I think a new all-time high could still form because of that. So we've got this Fibonacci at the moment, the 786, 886 Fib. This comes from measuring this previous pump over here. With the Fibonacci tool, I like measuring completed moves. And I can see Solana pivoted off of this low and put in a new all-time high. After that point, we actually made that lower low. When we went onto the weekly time frame, we saw that was a 200 weekly moving average. It pivoted off of that. We got the bullish reversal. In the end, this was a deviation after it confirmed it back as support over here. So going forward, this has to maintain for a new all-time high. It's testing this area once more to see, are the bulls truly going to step in and protect this trend and to hold up the chances of a new all-time high, essentially. Now, once we've seen Solana dump back down into this area, it's now actually forming a bullish pattern. So it really has to progress off of this low if we want chances of that new all-time high. We can see this bullish double bottom forming right now, and it's trying to tackle the 20 daily moving average. If it can successfully close above, we're going to see a further pump back up towards $150 and $160. This is where we find the 55 daily moving average, and previously where we saw support and resistance, resistance, support, 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 all to the left of this price action, current price action. So the moment we see a breakthrough here, we're going to get a significant rise towards that area. It's just pretty much waiting for that moment. We're trapped between these 2 points, waiting for that breakout. If we zoom into the 4-hour time frame, we can actually dissect this a little bit more. On the second leg of this W pattern, we see another completed move down. But in this case, my Fibonacci's are being used as a different tool. Previously, we were looking at support fibs. Now we're looking at resistance fibs that we want to be broken in order to hit the bullish targets. And we can see some confluence with that $155 to $160 targets now through this new micro Fibonacci brought to us by this second leg of the W double bottom. So only through this W double bottom, the second part of it, the second leg of it, did it form these bullish targets. So I can measure completed moves up or down, but in this case, I want the golden pocket to be broken in order to hit the bullish targets. As an investor, you would want to always hit the bullish targets and avoid losing key levels of support. So equally, if this 786 and 886 breaks, it's going to dump down into this level of support, regardless of how your feelings are towards the coin, what its fundamentals are doing. That is just how TA works. Lose a major key level of support is going to, of course, dump into its targets. It's the same thing, but the reverse when you're using the fibs the opposite way. But of course, investing in it, you want it to go up. So you want it to break the golden pocket this time round. When it's coming in for support, You want it to hold. You really don't want it to break. When it's coming in for resistance, you want it to break. You want it to flip into support. And we started to see very early signs that this level of resistance is turning into support, indicated by the wick rejections. Look at the dump over here to the left, thanks to the wicks to the upside. We actually have seen a dump within the last 4 hours, but there's also been a bullish reaction to this previous level of resistance, now as support. So going forward, 140 is now support. In fact, we can drag it down to this wick. 139 to 140, this $1 location is now your support for Solana going forward. I believe that it will pump towards 156 to 160 so long as 140 remains support. And that is it from me today. The expectation is that this bullish double bottom has held $125. Zooming back out to the weekly time frame, this actually suggests an eventual new all-time high if this remains support. Zooming into the daily time frame, we spotted a bullish double bottom, and zooming in once again on the 4-hour time frame, it just gives us further candles to work with, and so we can identify truly what is going on. We spotted a new Fibonacci using the completed move of the second leg of the double bottom. We've seen the reversal wave being created where, again, going back to the weekly time frame, when I place this fib, we want the 786 and 886 to hold, otherwise the bearish targets are hit. With the resistance fibs, it's the opposite. You want them to break, and we're currently breaking them, which means that these are the targets. It will act like a magnet. You will see 150 to 160 so long as 140 now holds as support. Like, subscribe, comment and share. Hopefully you learned something new from today. If you're new around here and you're not believing it, just remember what I've said. Come back to the video over the next few days. As long as 140 is held, you will see it up there. If 140 is lost, understand this is not happening. This is only happening with 140 holding up. That is how it works. You have to have these parameters. If they're not met, it's not going to happen. Just because I said if 140 holds, it's going to 150 and 60, it's only going to happen if 140 holds. I'm not saying it's 100% happening. It's only happening if. And if that if doesn't happen, target is not happening. If 140 is lost, we're not seeing 150 and 160. It might be annoying how many times I've repeated myself, but many people don't get it. Like, subscribe, comment and share. Hopefully you learned something new. Let me know if you did. Let me know if I wasn't clear. If you want to get educated, to learn the Fibonacci strategy, use the links down below. I have a Discord, ebook and one-to-one mentorship plans with a discount link in the description.